What's going on, everybody? We are here live, and it's not an accident today. We are doing this on purpose. This is the Backpacking Podcast. This is what we're calling a pop-up live stream. I'm here, as always, with Jeremiah Stringer.
Hello, my name's Jeremiah Stringer.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, bro.
This was totally not planned yesterday. We just kind of threw it together. We're like, hey, let's do a live stream. Dude, you need to understand this right now.
Yes.
Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, is on right now watching
Wow. Why is he not at work right now?
And Hunter's Trip is on here as well.
We have a couple people. We were just talking about before we started. We make the worst life choices. John and I are both on vacation right now, and we decided to live stream. Or if you're listening later on the Backpacking Podcast, then it's 1 p.m. on a Tuesday, just during the work week.
We're both
just
off
chilling.
work. We're both off work.
This is our job, bro. This is our job.
This is our side gig.
Yes.
This is our side gig. So we're doing this on the side here.
We're just here pimping joy.
Just walking is in now. What's up, fellow Packers?
What? Look at that logo.
Dude, that logo is incredible.
Is that
man.
a moose?
Dude, that is awesome.
It's a moose.
For people who are listening, the logo for Just Walking is literally like Arnold Schwarzenegger with a moose head.
It's like a Bigfoot moose.
It's unbelievable. That is awesome. Hunter's saying we should be doing this streaming from 2 hammocks. Now, I don't disagree with that.
That would be legit, bro.
I don't disagree with that.
Now we have live streamed on Jason's channel from the woods before, right?
Yes, we have.
Yeah. He brought his sometimes
brought his iPad.
Yeah, some people comment sometimes on my YouTube videos. Like one guy in particular very recently was commenting how we're just in the woods to escape civilization. Sometimes that's true, I think.
Sometimes.
But sometimes not.
No.
He was complaining about how I'm listening to music and watching movies and stuff while I'm in the woods. Well, good for me. My life, I'm not here to escape civilization. I actually like civilization.
I love civilization.
Yeah. I love the comforts, but I also love getting out and getting away. But there's nothing wrong with bringing some comforts with you.
You know what's better than watching a movie?
What's that?
Watching a movie under the stars.
Yeah. Oh,
Come on, right? Every once in a while, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So just found out what that logo is called.
What is it?
Moose Squatch.
Oh, I love it.
That is awesome.
Moose Squatch.
Moose Squatch.
That's a new one for me.
Oh, man, that's great. So, Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
You've got a trip coming up here real soon.
Yes.
I actually heard you finalizing some items about it just a few seconds ago.
Yes. I never like to tell anybody publicly where I'm going or when I'm going.
Don't tell them where or when, but what is it you're doing?
I plan on putting in some mileage with Hunter's Trip, actually, very, very soon. And I think what we're both going to do, hopefully Hunter's okay with me saying this, is I think we're both going to be doing the tarp camping.
Nice.
Yeah, so I may be borrowing. Warbonnet sent us some gear for testing. I may be borrowing the 11-foot Ridge Runner, if that's okay with you, to take instead of the 13-foot.
Do it, man.
I don't think I need 13 feet for just laying on the ground.
No.
I think it'd be a waste of weight.
Well, you've got an 11-foot with you, don't you?
No.
Or we have 2 13-foots?
We have 3 total that he sent us to test.
Yeah.
He sent us an 11-foot, a 13-foot, and a 13-foot Ridge Runner. And then he sent us the bridge hammock.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which is called?
The Ridge Runner. That's the Ridge Runner. You're thinking the tarps are the Thunderflies.
Thunderflies. That's what I mean.
What
I'm sorry, Warbonnet. I'm terrible at these things. I can't remember these names. And also, I never know where they come up with these names. Like the Wasp by Dutch, that looks like a wasp. I get that.
Right.
But all the names, like where does he come up with Thunderfly or any of these names? Nemo Disco? Cosmic?
Yeah,
Celtic
because
Cosmic?
when I look at that disco thing, I don't think of people dancing in really bad clothing with bell bottoms on and stuff. I just don't see that when I look at your sleeping bag.
Now, it is neon. It's neon yellow, and you get it in neon orange.
Yeah, but that makes me think of the 80s more than it makes me think of the 70s.
Disco's the 70s.
Yeah, disco's the 70s. 80s is neon colors.
Big hair.
Yeah. Neon colors and fanny packs and those zebra kind of pants that people worked out in and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that
Not gonna lie, I might have had some of those pants when I was in the 80s when I was a kid, and I bet you backpacking with Jason, he may not want to admit it, but he probably had some too.
The big parachute pants?
Oh, dude,
the big old bottoms?
Yeah, man, they were so comfortable. Like, they look terrible.
Yeah.
But they're maybe the most comfortable pants on the planet. because they're
Well.
so baggy and they don't weigh anything. I mean, they're ultralight. Like, seriously, they were ultralight before ultralight was a thing, and it was ultralight clothing for everyday urban hiking.
I don't think that's for me.
Do you like that? Urban
Yeah,
hiking.
I like how you tied it back into hiking.
Yeah, that's right. What it was.
Well, we're going to try the whole tarp, which Hunter may be experienced in that, and I know Backpacking with Jason, or Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, as he's better known around these parts.
Yes.
I know that he, especially in the wintertime, will often go tarp camping. And he was actually talking about it on our last trip because I had a tent, he had a tent, you had a hammock, and somebody was cowboy camping. And he's like, oh, I'm about to change it up. I'm going to be doing the tarp. I think I'm going to get the tarp out really soon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try tarp, but I've never done it before, and I'm a little bit worried because where we're going, I don't know specifically where we're going to be camping. And with a hammock, that wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, I want to show you something. This is really good to know.
Okay, let's see it.
Jason did have parachute pants.
Oh, of course he did.
It did happen. And Hunter's trip, we did see JK with a mullet rocking out back in 1950. Now, it wasn't 1950. Like, dude, that's literally 20 some odd years before I was born. So, I mean, I'm old. I get that. Especially in your company. You're just Mr. Young guy.
It's temporary, man. That's all temporary.
So, but yeah, there was definitely, it wasn't so much a mullet as it was just I had long hair.
I think
Did you know this? Did you ever see my long hair?
I saw a picture of it. I never saw it in person.
Yeah, I actually had long hair down to like below my shoulders.
You were rocking out.
I was a rock star, baby.
Yeah.
But I had that. And then here's a great one. Jason also said he had leather pants.
Oh, no. I can't get that out of my brain.
Jason, this Thursday night, can you pull those leather pants out and wear those down to Jeremiah's house when I see you guys for New Year's Eve? Because I would love to see Jason wearing leather pants at New Year's Eve. That's just me, personally. I
think that he should leave those at home.
So speaking of that, man, New Year's Eve's coming up.
Yes.
So you got this trip going on. What are your plans for New Year's Eve?
I think that we'll have a few close friends over at the house for New Year's Eve. And then after that, I think I'm going to be doing a lot of backpacking in January and getting these winter. The best thing about winter is there's no bugs.
Right.
That's why I'll do the tarp. And then if I went in the summertime and did tarp, I think I'd have to do like a bug net
bivvy or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to take like 3 or 4 trips in January because, unfortunately, because of COVID.
That is a busy January, bro.
I know, but because of COVID, where I'm a teacher, they were like, oh, well, everybody's visiting family for the holidays. Let's push off the date for starting back a little bit. So they gave us an extra week. And what am I going to do with an extra week? Backpack. So hopefully I can get 2 trips in.
Yeah.
2 short ones.
Right.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days each.
That's nice. I know I'm planning on hopefully we're going to be going to Dolly Sods. I am with some friends at some point in January.
Yeah.
Never been to Dolly Sods. I've heard it's always muddy, so I'm hoping it's cold enough that it's frozen and it's solid.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice.
I've only heard of one person that I really hang out with that like struck it where they got no rain, no mud. No, it's so rare.
Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir.
Oh, is that who it was?
When he went out there, he didn't have all that. Jason, if I'm wrong about that, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that he didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So
Dolly Sods, I mean, I hear great things. I know. I think Lance went out there pretty recently, Outland.
Yeah. And
Jason's been a couple of times. I've never been.
Yeah, I've never been. Everybody talks about going out there, and I've always been kind of because everybody talks about the mud.
Yeah.
Like Dolly Sods is like infamous for mud, but at the same time, I hear about places like Lion's Head and some of these other places out there, and everybody's just like,
yeah,
you got to get out there. So
you'll have to let Jason tell about them going like off trail or whatever, not taking the traditional route up to Lion's Head.
Yeah.
Having to scramble around. How fun would that be?
Oh man, that'd be like what we did this past week.
Yeah.
That stuff's a blast, man.
Yeah,
that stuff's a lot of fun.
Now, I think Jason's still working on his, and as the date of recording this episode, myself and John Kelly on our YouTube channels, we've already released the videos.
Right.
And we did Indian Staircase. Tell everybody what that's like.
Dude, it's awesome. It's just like a steep climb up. You just go up. Like everybody's always freaked out about it, but then when you get there and you do it, it's like, yeah.
Does it not look a lot worse from far off?
Oh, it looks way worse. But I think everything looks worse from far off.
Yeah.
Like I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and you look at it from a distance, you're like, oh my gosh. But when you do it, you're like, Yeah, I mean, it was hard, but it wasn't like I never felt like I was going to die.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's everything.
Could you see whenever you're doing Mount Kilimanjaro? Could you see the top from whenever you were at sea level, or was it in the clouds?
Oh, we were never at sea level. Like it starts at like 5,000 or 6,000 feet.
Oh, okay.
So
How far off? How far off? I don't know how to phrase this. Whenever I was in Ecuador, there were snow-capped mountains.
Yes.
And where I was living at was above 10,000 feet.
right.
So you look off, and there was only like 2 times in 1 month that you could actually see the top of the mountain.
We could see it from miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were there, we were in Tanzania,
Mm-hmm.
and if I can't remember the name of the town we were in off the top of my head, but when we were driving to the mountain, you could see the top of it, and then the clouds would come,
Okay.
and then you couldn't see the top of it anymore.
Yeah.
And like the day that we summited, that was hard
Yeah.
because that got down to -30 wind chill, and we had a I want to say a 3,000 or 4,000 foot climb that day.
Mm.
And it was up the whole way. And when we got to we got to the top of the mountain, but not the highest point of the mountain.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Stella Point or something like that. We got there. We had another mile to go,
Wait,
and that's where the wind hit.
you said that you got to the highest point, but not the top?
No, it got to the top of the mountain, but not the highest point on the top of the mountain.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like getting on a ridge almost,
Yeah,
like when
yeah.
you go across. But so we got, I think it's called Stella Point. We got there, and the wind all of a sudden hits you because the other side of the mountain was blocking the wind.
Right.
Well, then we get to the top, and the 30-mile-an-hour winds hit you.
Mm.
And so you're hiking, it's snow everywhere, and so it's just snow blowing in your face, and it's -30 wind chill because of this wind. And you're just hiking, and your eyes are watering, because there's just it's almost windburn. I was wearing a balaclava over my face.
Oh,
So it was
wow.
only this. Like this was all there was. Like if you're watching in the video, it was like this. And it was just enough room for like some sunglasses.
Yeah.
But there's still a little bit of wind that gets in. So your eyes are watering. Every step is hard because there's no air. You're 19,000 feet up.
Right.
There's no air. And every time you come up over a certain area, you would swear that was it, and it wasn't.
False summits,
Oh,
man.
man, all over the place.
They're heartbreakers.
But here's the thing about it, like, and maybe it's like this for other people, I don't know, but like for me, when I hit that, I kept hitting those false summits,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could finally see the sign off in the distance, just barely, because it was so snow covered and foggy, and you're in a cloud up
Yeah.
there, and I finally see the sign, and all of a sudden, all the memories of training for the climb, and I was raising money for an organization called Life Water,
Uh-huh.
trying to build a well in Ethiopia. And so I'd raised like $7,000 for that, and the memories of all the people supporting me. And I lost like 75 pounds for that trip.
Wow.
And like all the stuff that I'd done leading up to that. And when I saw the sign, all this emotion started to well up. And then I get to the top.
Mm.
I fell apart like a little girl. It was like the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Tears streaming.
Dude, it was unreal. And then it wasn't just me. Like there was this one dude there was like a big game hunter, owned his own construction business, the manliest of men,
Uh-huh.
and he fell apart. Like every dude that crossed that end line just lost it. And the guy who got me to do it gets there, and I just look at him. He's all teared up, and he goes, "I never thought it'd be this hard."
Yeah.
And then we got there. It was just like the greatest celebration. And within 5 minutes, the clouds parted, and all of a sudden it got clear up on the mountain. The wind died.
Wow.
It was the
Perfect.
craziest thing. But we could never see down below the mountain because we were above the clouds.
Yeah.
So all we could see, and I've got pictures of it, but you look down and all you see are clouds. I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy when you're up that high.
Yeah. Well, you're just up so high that you're above the clouds.
Yeah. And I always joke, like, when people, like, that's why, like, Indian Staircase didn't really scare me. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Been there,
I
done
just
that.
never done it. I've
Yeah.
never actually hiked up there before. I'd never seen it. I mean, I've seen pictures of other people doing it and videos of other people doing it, just never been there.
Yeah.
And never had the opportunity to be there. I've never been with anybody that's going, "Hey, let's go do Indian Staircase."
Right.
And so when you guys are saying, "Let's go do it," I was like,
And we
Yeah.
did, we did it with backpacks on.
"Yeah, dude."
How about Jason Wish and his kids? They were like, "Wait a minute, it's farther to go back the way you all are going. We're just gonna walk down the staircase."
They said that?
Yeah, that's what they said. They're like, "Oh, let's take the shortcut," and they had like they had a full axe,
They
a blow dart
They had
gun.
a blow dart gun, a full. And when I say full size axe, I'm talking a 3-foot,
Yeah.
like 10-pound axe.
It had like a 5-pound head on it. No
Yes,
joke.
that
It
thing
was
was
like
so heavy.
a legit axe.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know they were doing that.
No, and they had a blow dart gun.
I knew about the blow dart gun.
And I never got to see anybody use it.
Well, I was disappointed when he was talking about, what do we have to eat? I was like, what are you talking about? You have a blow dart gun. Go find a raccoon or something.
Oh, how about the cheese and the tortilla? And they made a quesadilla.
Yeah.
I was like, if you took that, I'm going to do that with Hunter on our next trip. I'm going to take tortillas, cheese to melt, and some of that pre-packaged, like vacuum sealed chicken that you can just buy at Walmart in like the tuna section.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make myself, maybe I won't do it on this trip. Maybe I'll make it more of a heavier weight trip.
Make some backcountry tongs.
Yeah. Or I have tongs. I have tongs that are, one side is a tiny little spatula. They're probably like 8-inch.
Yeah.
It's a spatula. And then the other side is a spork, a long
hold it
handle.
over the fire and like.
You can like stick it together. No, I would take it and probably do a Y stick like they did. You know, he took a Y stick that he had cut.
Well, that's good too, I guess.
Yeah, whatever it takes to heat up the chicken and melt the cheese. But I was like, wow, that's genius.
Have I ever told you about how I created backcountry tongs one time?
No, how do you do that?
Okay, so I just grabbed a couple sticks that were maybe like 1.5 feet long, 2 feet long, and then it had the Y on the end, like where you broke it off, so it's like a little Y on the end. Then I took another little stick about this big, put it in here, and then I took a rubber band and I put it around in front of that. So every time I would open it, they would close automatically.
Wow.
And so I did that, and that's how I like cook some. I did that on the Shell Toy Trace one night. I never even videoed it. And I feel so stupid because I felt like, dude, I just got the ultimate hack on how to make like backcountry tongs, and I didn't even put it on the video. It was just stupid. And I used that to like cook some stuff over the fire. It might have been a piece of Spam or something, and I just cooked it over the fire. But
sometimes I'll stick a stick through Spam.
Oh yeah,
roast that over. Spam is so much better heated up,
dude.
Instead of that gel.
Cold Spam's
fat.
rough, but cooked Spam I think is good, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad, especially searing the outside a little.
Yeah. How many of you guys like Spam? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, tell us on the live.
It's amazing when you talk to non-backpackers and non-through hikers and that kind of thing, and you mention Spam, immediately the nose turns up and they're kind of like, they get that look on their face. But dude, I can do some Spam.
And now, like, Spam, we weren't real wealthy growing up, and we ate Spam, and they'd fry it like in a cast iron skillet.
Yeah.
And that was like your meat for the meal. But it came in those tins. You
tear
off the top.
You roll it back or whatever.
Yeah, it's like at the top that like,
Yeah.
it pretty much turns into a cylinder as you pull it off. Well,
dude, right here. Tabby.
Oh,
love a fried Spam sandwich.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Dude,
you throw some mayo on there, throw
piece
some
of cheddar cheese.
Oh yeah,
that's
cheese
good stuff,
melt
dude.
on there. So we had those, but now you can buy
We're
the
dang red meat eaters too, just so you know.
Yeah, I love red meat.
I do too, man.
Hunter, does he have the thing where you can't have red meat?
I think it's just a dietary choice. My wife just commented with a throw up face.
Oh, with the Spam.
She's not crazy about the Spam.
Yeah, but you can get in those tear off packets just like tuna now.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Yeah, easy
It's
peasy.
great.
You don't have to take it out in that big tin.
Right.
Yeah,
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I'll mention, since we're on the live stream, if you all have any questions or any topics that you want us to cover or talk about today, completely open forum. So
yeah, this
more
is
than
literally a pop-up live stream. Like, we have no agenda here. Like, we're like, let's just do some podcasts this week. So we did like 3 yesterday. We're doing 3 today, and we're probably gonna do 3 tomorrow. So
yeah, we're just having fun.
Who knows? We may do a live stream tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It just depends on how internet's looking and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
we'll kind of see what happens.
While they're looking at topics and stuff, you want to thank today's sponsor?
I do want to thank today's sponsor because I have been using this stuff since the day we got it, and he surprised us like a week or 2 ago.
Yeah.
With a brand new scent, and that's Outdoor Beards, who is the sponsor for today's episode. I have thoroughly been enjoying the new scent, the Morning Brew.
That's the new scent that I used it this morning. It's a balm.
Oh
it's
my gosh.
better for styling over the oil. And I like the oil too. And I shaved my beard December the 1st.
Right.
And I've been taking a picture every day. And since it's been growing back out, I'm kind of doing a little experiment. I didn't use product whenever I first started growing my beard.
Which, if you're looking right now and you're going, Jeremiah, what beard do you speak of? Because the beard we remember you with was much longer.
I know, because it grew for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And the sucky thing with the beard is the masks. It's very annoying with the mask, especially if it's long. The mask kind of curls around it. But what I started doing is later on using product. Now I'm regrowing my beard, and I'm using product from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is it'll grow fuller, not because I have more hair growing. It's the same amount of hair. It's because if you don't use product, your beard dries out and it like cracks, just split ends, just like your normal hair does if you have long hair.
Well, I use the soap. Like I've got the beard soap he sent us. I use that in my beard whenever I take a shower, clean that out, and then immediately throw some oil in it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this scent compared to the other ones is my wife loves this.
Yeah, it smells like a mocha, like a dark mocha.
She said it smells kind of like coffee popcorn.
Yeah.
Coffee
popcorn.
I
could see it. It's got a sweet twang to it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I do want to say thank you to Outdoor Beards.
Absolutely.
For sponsoring today's episode, and outdoorbeards.com. If y'all want to buy whatever, beard products, lip balm, soap,
mustache wax,
wax,
Hunter,
yeah,
mustache
Hunter.
wax.
He does have a big mustache.
Oh, dude, he can do some good mustache growing. Yeah. It's pretty impressive. But thank you to Backcountry Beards. I can't even do Outdoor Beards. I'm just like out of it today. Thank you to Outdoor Beards for sponsoring the show. You guys are awesome. Matthew Treese, great guy. Great company.
Yeah.
So, just been asked, what new gear are you thrilled about having, Jeremiah?
I think my favorite piece of new gear is probably going to be a tie between this Nemo Alpine I got that I continue to test, because it did keep me warm, very warm at that 35-degree temperature when we were at the gorge last. And also, I have been trying to stay away from taking a fleece with me, but I bought a new fleece, and it's a Patagonia.
It's nice, man.
Yes,
I like that thing.
It's fleece on the inside, and it's like a standard quarter zip on the outside, and it's got a little pocket on the chest. Now, Patagonia, they make expensive stuff, but it was on sale.
Yep. And
they make great stuff, even though it costs so much. But I'm like, I have it. I'm going to take it on this trip.
What do you call it? Patagucci?
Patagucci, yeah, because it costs so much.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's worth it. Like I have one of their hats. It's fleece lined and then wool on the outside.
Yeah.
It's so warm. But it's probably a tie between that fleece and the Alpine. I took the fleece. Sometimes I tell people don't take a fleece. You know, you can layer with a base layer, a camp shirt, and you can have your puffy and a rain jacket. And that'll probably keep you pretty warm.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have all that layered.
Yeah.
But I took the fleece. I was happy I took the fleece.
Dude, that fleece was nice, man.
Yeah.
That was real. It's got a great question on here.
Okay.
Throw us out here. At what temperature do you switch from a 3/4 underquilt to full length?
Well, I would say
now, have you ever used a 3/4?
I would never use a 3/4. Now, Hunter, he can comment on this because he uses a 3/4.
I've got a 3/4 also.
I've
got a 3/4. It's a Costco quilt.
Now, how many degrees would you take that down to, even just being a 3/4?
Probably in the 60s, like low 60s, upper 50s. I probably would.
Now,
much past that, probably not, because that's just me. I personally wouldn't do that because I have a 40-degree underquilt
so
for
what's the
UGQ.
point?
So, I mean, once it gets below 60, but in the hot summer,
it may be great.
in the hot summer, it's incredible because it doesn't overheat you at all, and it's super comfortable. And when it's hot, I kind of like for my feet to have a little cool. Like I don't always sleep with the covers over my feet when it's warm out.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to kind of let my feet out and they're still staying warm, they're able to be cooled down a little bit. I don't have that underquilt still radiating heat up. Yeah. It's kind of nice. So, I mean, in hot summer weather, like I used actually Jeremy from Midwest Backpacker. He hooked me up with a Costco quilt this last year, and I used it all summer long.
Is that the 3/4?
Yeah. Used it all summer long. I loved it, dude. Did a great job. But after it starts getting chilly where you need to be wearing more clothes anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I won't. Like,
Yeah.
I'd choose it hot summer nights, and that's about it for me. So.
I can see exactly where you're coming from. I would probably use it in the summer, but I hadn't really thought of that. Typically, I would just said, like what I said before, I don't use a 3/4. I haven't. My thing is if I think I might be cold, then I go with something that's going to keep me warm just in case.
And you get cold easy too. Like
Yeah.
we've talked about this before. You lost 100 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and then after you lost 100 pounds, you lost all of your insulation.
Yeah.
And,
so it's my body struggles to regulate its temperature. So what I even done this whenever we went to the gorge is I took my puffy and I zipped it up and stuck my legs in it inside my sleeping bag just for a little extra, and then threw some hot hands in there next to my feet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'll
That's
keep you
cool.
warm.
Check this out. We've got a few Patagucci comments coming up here.
About how expensive and overpriced.
Here we go. Patagucci has the best hiking shirts without collars.
The best hiking shirts without collars.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what does that look like?
Got another one. I just ordered the Patagucci Atom Sling for EDC. Excited to try that out.
What's an Atom Sling?
It says EDC, so I'm wondering.
An everyday carry.
Yeah, everyday
item.
carry, yeah. Here's another question. Still loving the Ohm 2.0. Ever consider the Raven 40 liter from Hilltop Packs? If not, why? Yeah, I love the Ohm 2.0. I just took it out last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep trying other backpacks, but I keep coming back to the Ohm. I know we've talked about this before, but we've got backpacks coming soon from Chicken Tramper, which we're both real excited about that.
And Outdoor Vitals.
And Outdoor Vitals. We got some coming from Outdoor Vitals, so I'll try those out. But so far, man, like the Ohm 2.0 is kind of my favorite. Like I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, because you tried the Osprey as well.
Yeah, I've got an Osprey
you like
Atmos.
the Ohm better.
I like the Ohm better than the Osprey Atmos. Yeah, just for me, for the way I like to backpack, the Ohm is just a great backpack. And the as far as the Hilltop Packs bag, Ben and I have talked about something with that, and we may have something in the works over the next year. We'll see. It all depends on me. Let's just put it that way. It's all in my hands as to whether or not that happens.
Ben's, I've got my hands on one of Ben's packs because I was, we were backpacking with him.
Yeah.
And this was before COVID, actually.
Yeah.
We were backpacking. He was already making these Raven 40 liters, and he showed us this one, and he took it out on its maiden voyage, and I absolutely loved how if you look at the side of the backpack, you have a water bottle pouch, just like any normal backpack, but above that, you have extra storage.
Yeah.
And so somebody made me a backpack, actually, and I was like, can you please put an extra pocket above the water pouch?
Yeah, because you had that this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looked great.
So I love that, and where I got the idea from was from Hilltop Packs.
Yeah. I really like the packs. I mean, it's super light. It's super light. My problem is I'm not crazy about frameless.
Yeah.
I'm just not crazy about it because there's certain things I like to take with me that will probably forever keep me from actually being ultralight.
It's different depending on the time of year and the gear you take.
Yeah, it really is. And so, like, I don't know. Ben and I are talking. Like, something could work out here in the next year. We'll see what happens. But I do think they're fantastic backpacks.
Oh, yeah. Ben does quality work. He's famous for his food bags. He prints everything on food bags.
Dude, it's amazing the stuff he comes up with.
Now, for the frameless, that was the first trip that I've taken a frameless on, that one that we went on.
Well, that's the lowest your base weight has ever been on a trip.
I know.
We weighed all of our packs, and I want to say this. I'm going to say this for you because we weighed our packs, and for the first time since the three of us have gone together on trips, Jeremiah, you, me, and Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, you had the lightest pack.
Yeah, fully.
By 4 pounds.
Yeah, it was wet, too. It was ready to roll. This was food,
that was
water.
4 pounds. By 4 pounds. I came in at 26 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
You came in at 22.
22.5, I think it was.
And Jason came in at like 28.5.
Yeah, but he lived in luxury.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, but we both slept on the ground.
I didn't.
Well, Jason and I.
Yeah, but
we both slept on the ground.
I was lighter than Jason, and I had a hammock.
Yeah, it all depends on what you bring. You can do, like Hunter, his loadout is really light with the hammock.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it, but I think I think it's got a 180-pound weight limit on that netting material, the monolight.
You gotta see this question.
Okay.
Are you going to change the logo now that Jeremiah has betrayed the Brotherhood of Beards?
Hey! What the heck, Casey? calling me out like that. Yeah, John and I actually have been talking about that, and I don't know. Maybe we can put hair on my head or something.
Yeah.
If you're listening right now, we're on the live stream, and we have the Backpacking Podcast logo, and it's John and I both with beards and glasses.
Yeah.
But I shaved my beard. It is growing, like straight up growing back out though.
Oh yeah,
it's already like
you have a beard already. Like it's just not nearly as impressive as it was.
I know it
a
takes
short time
time
ago. Well, I got mine trimmed, so I mean mine definitely came down about an inch.
Yeah,
length,
it looks great though.
Well, I grew mine poorly. Like you were
What's that
talking
mean?
earlier, like if you're gonna grow a beard out,
Yeah,
you don't shave under behind it. You don't do that.
Yeah.
If you shave in behind it, you're shaving the part that keeps it looking full.
Mhm.
And I didn't know this, so I was cleaning my neck off underneath the beard as I was growing it out. And what was happening was it looked super like scraggly and like there was no fullness to it. Like I couldn't actually grow a beard, but I was trying real hard. And so I started growing the stuff underneath it. And now, if you look at it, you don't see all through it, and it looks
it's
full. It's growing the way it's supposed to. So
I asked my barber about this. I got a haircut like the same week that I shaved my beard, and I was like, "Hey man, I'm thinking about growing this back out, and I'm going to take a picture every day." And I have been.
yeah,
And I was like, "How can I make this look at least semi-professional? Because I have a legit real job,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
can't just go in there looking like a bum." Even though I was before, I guess, technically. It got scraggly. So he said, shave your neck until you can't see it, and then don't shave it anymore. Because like you said, you'll be able to see
Yeah.
through your beard because it won't look as full.
yeah. Then you can trim it back to make it match up, like I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's really what it was. It wasn't cutting the length of the beard. It was just getting the front part to match up to the back so that it didn't look bad. And plus, it's funny. I got my first haircut in 10 years.
Yeah, it looked great, man. Now you're wearing a hat.
Yeah, because I don't like hair. But
I don't like hair, but don't like hair on my head.
I don't need hair. Hair's for other people, not me for me. But like for the past 5 years, since 2016, I've just been cutting my hair off like all the way.
Yeah, buzz it.
Yeah, because I got a really high hairline, and I started losing hair because I was in my 40s, and this is what happens to men a lot of times. And so I started cutting my hair off all the time. Well, as we got into COVID, and then my family got it right as I was going to get my hair cut again, I noticed that hair was growing back where it wasn't before.
Yeah.
So I think the key thing to take away from this is if you're trying to grow your hair back, go backpacking.
Yeah.
That makes your hair grow back.
Or get COVID.
Or get COVID.
Maybe COVID caused you to grow hair abnormally.
Yeah, it just took like 6 months.
It probably wasn't the COVID.
It probably wasn't the COVID. But no, so I got an actual haircut and trimmed the beard down nice for my wife because she puts up with me and I like for her to be happy. So
Yeah.
got it all trimmed up and cleaned up for her. So Hunter said those CTUG packs are going to be super nice. Yes.
I'm hoping so.
They are.
I can't wait to get my hands on them. And we mentioned this in a previous episode that their frames are made out of the carbon fiber arrow
shafts. Yeah, shafts.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid frameless, semi-frame-ish type deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then you've got Just Walking, I'll Be Rocking. The jacks are better 3/4 length next month. Should get down to the teens on a 3/4 length.
Wow.
Wow.
I know some people.
Moose Squatch is a tough dude.
Some people wear their socks, and of course you have your sleeping bag around you, and then only your feet may be sticking out on the 3/4.
Yeah.
And they'll put their like Z-seat or something like that under their feet.
That, or maybe if you have like some down booties or something.
Yeah, but I just don't want to have to worry about it. That's why I go with the full length.
Of course, at the same time, if you've got the down booties and you're wearing a quilt that's like got a sewn foot box, it might not be too bad.
But under you, I think that I would get cold.
Right.
But it's different for
You
different
would get
people.
cold.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just wear 2 pairs of socks anyway.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
We just got told we're like 2 old ladies talking in the salon. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark.
I know. That's why people listen, man.
Yeah,
We're 2 old ladies in a salon.
Maybe that should be our new logo. 2 old ladies with beards. That could be our new logo.
That'd be awesome.
So what does Jimmy say here? He says, being that you and the Bearded Wonder are hammock guys, what's your go-to tent when you do use one? I go for the MSR Elixir 2 personally.
Oh, that's a good question. I'll let you go first. Your go-to tent, even though you haven't in a while.
Man, I don't even know if I have a go-to tent. I know the tent I have that I've used the most is my Fly Creek UL2 from Big Agnes. I don't like it though. It's just that I have it. It's like it's got the front door in it, and it feels like you're getting out of a doghouse.
That's the one I slept in.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little tight.
You barely fit.
It's a little tight.
You're way too tall. Yeah, if you're tall. But the nice thing about it is the way it sits. You don't have it like in your face. Like the tent's not in your face when you're laying down, which is nice. But man, that front door is awful.
That's a deal breaker for me, man.
I hated that. But it weighs like right at about 2 pounds. Yeah. So it's super lightweight. It's
and it's freestanding.
Semi-freestanding, yeah. Semi-freestanding. You still have to stake out the foot end.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's like I don't like it. I mean, I use it because it's what I've got. I did buy a Sierra Designs Sweet to use out in Utah, but then that trip got canceled last spring because of COVID.
Yeah, and where we were going, you couldn't hammock.
You had to use a tent, so I went ahead and picked that tent up, and I'd still like to try it at some point, but to try it means I don't use my hammock.
It's okay to try different things, man.
But it means I wouldn't use my hammock. And so, like...
You ride or die on the hammock now?
Well, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. If you're sitting there and you got a filet mignon in front of you and a chicken breast...
Yeah.
That chicken breast may be a great chicken breast, but there's a filet mignon.
They got different rolls, man.
It does not matter.
What if you're like Hunter and don't eat red meat?
Well, then he wouldn't want either one of them anyways. So that doesn't matter. For him, it's like, I don't even know what he eats. Like,
he ate salmon on our last trip.
Did he eat salmon?
Yeah, and the tear-off packets like the tuna, except his was salmon. So
Hunter,
like
what do you eat, man? Like, leave a message and let us know what you eat, because I'm curious about this, because he did have some really interesting food when we went to Grayson Highlands.
Probably some quinoa or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it all looked good.
Yeah.
It's
I remember
very anti-red meat.
I remember he got out his food bag, and he, I think, handed it to me or something. It's like, I was like, is this everything you're going to eat the whole time we're here? Like, his whole food bag was lighter than my snacks for the first day.
Dude, his whole backpack is lighter than my tent. You
I
know, like, the dude is an amazing, like, he really is a major leaguer when it comes to ultralight. I mean, it's impressive.
There is an equilibrium, though, in the ultralight and the comfort.
You're right.
It gets to a point where you're like, for me anyway, I'm like, I'm not at least comfortable enough to be out here doing this, especially if it puts my safety at risk. I can't go across that line.
Yeah.
But I'll tell what my tent is. Okay. Unless you got another one.
He only eats whole foods and fish.
Yeah, and he's a healthy guy.
He is. He's in fantastic shape. He's a billy goat when he hikes.
We're gonna see on this trip if he can bust out the miles.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'll find out. I'll watch the video.
We'll see what we do.
May have to talk about it on a podcast.
Hey, there we go.
So my wife did want to chime in and say my beard is much better now. She likes it better.
She likes it.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Happy wife,
happy life.
That's what they say.
So Casey just said, Jeremiah, I appreciate you so much more because you said my name right. Nothing but love. I binged the podcast episodes at work, but now I'm binging the live streams on YouTube. You guys rock. That's awesome.
Hey, there we go.
Thank you, Casey.
No problem.
That's really cool.
So
your favorite tent?
My favorite tent, my go-to tent, I don't know if it's my favorite.
Hang on real quick. We'll see you, Mark. He's going back to work.
All right, see you, Mark. So, much love, bro. So my favorite tent, or my go-to tent, is the Lunar Solo by Six Moons Designs. A couple things I like about it.
It's a great tent.
Yeah, it weighs less than 2 pounds. If you want, you can use your trekking pole as the support, and it has 2 pullouts, so you can use the other trekking pole and a stick for the pullouts. And it has this pullout on the side that gives you a bunch of extra space next to your sleeping pad.
Okay.
And then that's like storage.
Yeah.
I wish they would put some pockets in there or something, though. There's one pocket next to the zipper, and like it's big enough to put your keys, lip balm, wallet, but not a whole lot else. Like I'll keep my AirPod case in there so I don't lose it while I'm in the tent.
Right.
And then it has one door on one side. But other than that, it's a pretty good tent. Yeah. Now, if it's not just me going, I'll take that North Face Tri-Arch 3 because that thing's gigantic.
Right.
But I took, on the long trail, Mr. Backpacking with Jason Sir's duplex.
And you used it like once.
I set it up twice. Now, I used it once
That's
out of
great.
necessity
Right.
because the
right.
shelter, dude, some of those shelters suck so bad.
I won't stay in shelters.
Oh, I loved staying in the shelters because I found a trail family. Like we all came together and we got to
Right.
hang out. And then everybody goes to bed early anyway because you've hiked all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Hiker midnights at 9.
Yeah. So as soon as it was dark, everybody's going to sleep
Yeah.
and you're getting up the next day. But for those watching, it was like this, man. Oh, like that. You see that angle?
Yeah.
This
That
shelter
was the
was
shelter.
so bad.
The shelter was off.
Not the whole shelter. There are bunk beds in there, so you can you could sleep 8 people in that shelter. So let me
So the bunk bed was crooked. Was it toward the wall or away from the wall?
let me paint a picture for you, my
Oh,
friend.
paint this picture,
Okay.
man. I'm ready to see this.
I could even show you a picture later. So this shelter was the first or second shelter that we passed on the long trail. I think it might have been the second night.
Yeah.
But it was only like 12 miles in because you got to do the approach trail.
Right.
We stayed at this shelter, and you're facing it. It's like a 2 or 3 step up, floorboards. On each side, there's bunk beds, and you have like 30 inches, and there's like a support beam in between, and then there's a platform right above it. So you have one at seat level, and then one that you have to climb up to. Exact same thing on the other side of the shelter inside.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, there's a table built into the wall with benches on each side.
So you can eat dinner and that kind of thing.
Right.
Right.
Well, here's the problem. I wasn't real fast, and the guy that I had started the trip with, he was only able to do like 6-ish miles or so the first day
Right.
and the second day. And I was like, I have a deadline to meet. Like, I need to be back by this date. So we're going to have to pick up the pace. I can't do six miles every day. Like, we need to get in some mileage.
Right.
And we get there a little later since we're going such low mileage and so slow. And so the bunk that I was stuck with, it was like off kilter, by at least a few degrees. That can be a big deal. There was another shelter we slept in, and I got a level spot, and pretty much the trail mom of the family, her name is Nurse Ratchet. She had to sleep on an incline, and so I don't remember what we ate, but whatever she ate didn't settle with her, and it was sitting where her feet were higher, and it was sitting.
Oh, so it's like in a hammock where you have to go to the bathroom more because your feet are up a little higher.
Well, it was sitting like the stomach acid was going up toward her throat. Dude, she woke up, puked. Puked right off the edge of the world.
And you didn't give her your bed.
No. I beat her to the shelter, bro.
You're not a gentleman.
First come, first serve.
She's the mom. Don't you take care of your mom?
Yeah, I guess so.
Mom has to come first, dude.
Yeah, she's a trail mom. That's different than a real mom.
No.
Anyway,
if you're gonna call someone mom, they got to come first.
Well, I never called her mom. I said she's like the trail mom.
That's not good enough.
Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape to see what I said. No, I really what I like to do whenever I get to those shelters is my sleeping pad. I'll set it up in the far left corner.
Yeah.
Unless there's drafts going over that way, and
Yeah.
then I'll go the other side. So I'll set it up over there because the zipper on my sleeping bag, if I'm looking down at it and the head's up here, the foot's closest to me.
Yeah.
The zipper is on my right side. So if I'm laying inside the sleeping bag, it's on my left side.
Okay.
So it matters where I put my sleeping bag because I have to crawl in it. And if I'm against a wall, I can't crawl into the sleeping bag very conveniently. So I'm always trying to be first to the shelter and get that first spot that I want. But some people don't like that
And
spot.
let mom throw up.
Well,
You let mom throw up.
that
dude.
was on her. She was late that day, but it
It's
wasn't
mom.
It wasn't mom, it was Nurse Ratchet.
Nurse Ratchet, the mom.
Yeah.
You let Nurse Mom die.
But she was only like 33. So she couldn't have been
You
my
were only
mom.
like 27.
Yeah, so there's not much age difference there.
She's still your mom, dude.
She took care of us.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Chivalry is dead while on trail.
Yeah.
Trail rules are different.
It's cutthroat out on the trail. You're
That's why-
tripping people to get to the shelter.
And that is
No,
why
just
I'm not
kidding.
sleeping in a shelter. Never sleeping in a shelter.
Dude, I'm telling you, shelter life isn't bad unless there's mice, snoring, or people you don't like. If it's with just a group, like a lot of those.
So here's the thing.
What?
If I'm in there, it's guaranteed to be snoring.
Yeah.
If I'm in there, and I've never seen a shelter without mice.
Actually, I don't think I've ever seen a shelter without snoring. I always wear earplugs.
Yeah, it's like, but I can get a hammock that's not hard on the ground or in a old bunk bed.
Yeah.
That's hanging between two trees, and I sleep better than in my own bed.
Yeah, but I didn't have a hammock.
But I do.
I know.
And so dude, I'm
But
gonna
I
keep
didn't.
that. That's gonna be something I'm gonna try and keep alive for a long time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I really like not sleeping in that.
Let me
shelter.
tell you this though. You say that you don't want to sleep in a shelter, but I'm telling you, if you hike 20 miles in the rain all day and you have to set that tent up in the rain and then pack it up wet the next day, whenever you could just get in the shelter and change clothes and put out your pad, dude, it makes it so hard to want to set the tent up. Oh, that's the whole point of this whole thing I was talking about. I took the duplex and I set it up.
Yeah.
I slept in it the second night because we were at that shelter.
Uh-huh.
And then I set it up the first night, but the guy I was backpacking with and me were the only ones at the shelter that night at all.
Yeah?
There was 3 other people, but they set up tents out around the shelter.
Because they're smarter than you.
Well, maybe.
Here's the thing.
That
You
could
set
be.
up a tent
I set up the tent.
and didn't
then-
use it.
Yes, exactly. I set up the tent and didn't use it.
The look on your face right now is fantastic.
Now-
it's just very much a matter of fact, yes,
I did.
I did that.
And I also found that tent had a rip in it whenever I set it up. So I'm glad I set it up that day. I had to use Dyneema tape to.
Jay, you tore Jason's tent?
No, it was.
You
I had never.
Oh, is Jason still in here?
I had never slept in it. He knows. I told him while we were on the trip. I was like, "Hey, bro, I got some bad news." I was like, I repaired it. It's, Dyneema tape is stronger than the
Oh,
Dyneema.
yeah.
And it was like 2 knife slits, each like, I don't know, half an inch to an inch long. They're right above each other. I was like, I don't know what happened, but I assume it was like this.
Yeah.
Whenever I got it, but I'll buy you a new one if you want.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have $600 burning a hole in my pocket for a duplex.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what.
What?
The tent I want to try,
Mm-hmm.
and you know this because we've talked about it. I want to try the Gossamer Gear, the 2. The
Yeah,
DCF2. The DCF2. I want to try one of those.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the duplex. But I'm just interested. I'm just interested in it.
I'm glad you brought that up because Gossamer Gear, they actually offered to send us a DCF1, but I think it's going to be too small for me. So, and you want
Yeah.
the 2.
Yeah,
And
I don't use one person tents.
Right. And that was just for testing too. That
yeah,
wasn't for
just to try it
keep.
out.
These companies, I know I mentioned this before, but these companies will send you stuff if you like have podcast or YouTube or stuff, but sometimes it's strictly for testing. Like they have an inventory and they're like, okay, I can send it to you for a month. You have to send it back. I can send it to somebody else because that's getting the word out about their gear and it's giving them feedback on if the gear works.
Well, and that's how it was for me with Zoleo.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zoleo was a company that I contacted and said, I'm curious about your communicator.
Right.
So they sent me a review version
Mm-hmm.
and said, check it out. And then when do you think you'll be done with it? I told them. They said, okay, then send it back when you're
Yeah.
done. And just worked out that we got along really well. And I became an ambassador of the company. And for good reason. I chose to become an ambassador for the company because I believe
Right.
in the product. And a lot of times with companies, if that's what happens, then you can work something out there. But a lot of times you just try it out, see what
Try
you
it out.
think, and you send it back.
Yeah. And I don't know. Some people get really up in arms about like people that are quote unquote influencers, which I feel like every influencer hates the word influencer. They're like, oh, that just sounds dirty coming out of my mouth. But people will get up in arms that like companies will send you stuff, but that's like free advertising for the company. So they would be dumb not to send stuff out to different people.
Right.
And I really think that I don't want to toot our own horn or anything here. I just say let the record show that this stuff is hard. YouTube, being successful on YouTube,
yeah.
being successful at any content creation, any art form, anything like that, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't see a whole lot wrong with it. But I do want to say
Well, the only way you're going to be able to find out about gear is to either, 1, buy it, 2, have it given to you, or have it as a loaner so that you can try it out because you can't even give a review if you don't use it.
right.
So, I mean, somehow you're going to have to get it.
I don't know how much money you make on YouTube, but I don't make enough to keep buying gear to test everything out.
No.
It's just not enough.
Yeah. Hunter Strip says the Gossamer Gear 1 and the 2 are fantastic in the new DCF models, but anyone over 6'1" might be tight.
Yeah, and I'm 6'3", so I feel like my head and feet will touch. But they did send those those trekking poles, and those things were so light. I actually
Yeah.
like now normally I don't like the twist trekking poles
Yeah.
at all because I'm afraid they'll untwist and then I'll actually have an injury because it'll collapse while I'm putting weight on it.
Right. I like the flick locks better.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with them because I think both of those trekking poles weighed the same as one of my trekking poles.
What I can't remember what they're called. Can you look it up?
The Gossamer Gear trekking poles?
Yeah. We weighed them, and I think they were 10 ounces, right? And that was the same, like you're saying, that's the same as like one. Do you have aluminum or carbon fiber black diamonds?
Mine are aluminum.
Okay. So that was like the 10 ounce, both of them, 10 ounce total, was the same weight as one aluminum black diamond.
These are the LT5.
LT5s. And they had
piece ones.
Yeah, they have the cork handle. They're not paying me to say this, but I liked them. They had the twist locks. They had cork handles, which I do not like rubber handled trekking poles.
Right.
Because my hands will sweat, but the cork will absorb it. But there is like a downside to.
This is them right here.
Yeah.
Got a chance to check those out.
That's it. So the cork handles, sometimes animals will gnaw on that though because they taste the sweat.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful, like squirrels, chipmunks, that kind of thing. If your trekking poles are just laying around, sometimes you get out of your tent the next day and like the handle will be chewed up.
That's why I've tried to practice no hygiene whatsoever when I'm out in the backcountry, so I smell so awful. Animals won't even want my sweat.
The only hygiene is he puts beard balm in.
That's all I do.
His beard.
So I smell like popcorn, coffee, and grossness like the rest of the time. So
yeah, I'm gonna keep using the Gossamer Gear trekking poles.
Yeah, they were pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I still like my black diamonds. I've told people for a long time I'm not worried about the weight on those as much.
No, because you're carrying them in your hands.
Yeah, and so it doesn't really bother me too much. And I love the ones I have are the Pro Shocks. And a lot of people don't like those, but I really like them. They're really easy on your wrists when you're carrying them. The only negative is they have foam handles.
Yeah.
If they made the version I've got right now with cork handles, I would think those are the best trekking poles on the face of the planet.
Cork handles are the way to go. And so Gossamer Gears, if you're willing to pay for the money, you'll get a quality product and it'll be light.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you want a more budget-friendly, if that's not in your budget, because those things are not just like, hey, I'm beginning backpacking, I'm going to buy some trekking poles. You're probably not going to spend that much money.
Yeah.
But if you're worried about the weight, I would get those.
Yeah.
But if you want something that's more budget-friendly, those Cascade Mountain Techs
that are
on Amazon.
Or Foxelli. Foxelli's another company that does some really good inexpensive ones.
Under $50, carbon fiber,
Yeah.
cork handles, a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
But not as heavy as aluminum.
Yeah.
That's a good budget-friendly if you don't want to go with Black Diamond or some of the higher name brand stuff.
Well, I know the black diamonds I got in 2015. It's 2020. I'm still using them.
Yeah.
And they've been through it. I mean, they've had the crap kicked out of them. Like they've been on almost every trail I've hiked.
Right.
For a while there, I tried Tac Niner, sent me some carbon ones.
Yeah.
They're all right, but they started to click. Like they were the Z poles.
So is that the ones that had the cord inside?
Yeah.
Some people love those.
Some people love them, but mine, for some reason, I don't know if the cord got stretched or what, but it didn't hold as tight, and so it clicked every time I would set it down, and it got really annoying. And it also made me nervous that the structural integrity of it wasn't probably the best.
Yeah.
So,
but that's a budget. That's a more budget friendly.
Yeah, they're
option.
$40, and they weighed about what your Gossamer Gear ones weigh.
Wow.
They're really light. Everyday Backpacker said animals will also chew on rubber handles.
Oh, I didn't know that.
By a porcupine.
I saw a porcupine way up on top of a mountain.
I will stay away from porcupines.
Yeah, porcupines, especially if you got a dog that gets into a porcupine. One of the couples that was on the long trail with, their dog got into a porcupine while they were on trail.
Yeah,
they had to pack it out, cut the trip, get a ride into town.
Yeah.
They'll mess you up. Porcupines are no joke.
Well, the barbs are curled at the end, so they go in really well, but then it's kind of like a fish hook. It's like a fish hook. So
I don't think we have porcupines here.
If we do, I'm not going anywhere near one.
I haven't seen one in Kentucky. I don't think that we have them here, but they definitely had them in Vermont because I saw one with my own two eyes.
Dude, they got them in Canada. You know why I know that?
Why?
Alone.
Oh, did they eat one?
Dude, I watched, like the last season 7, I think, was the last season of Alone, and the girl that came in second place.
No spoilers, bro. I'm not caught up. Come on, spoiler alert.
They ate porcupines. There, I said that. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so Jim Hendricks said in Jeremiah's last video, he mentioned some insoles that you're working with. Can you share some infos on those? Yeah, I can share some info on those because I really like them. It's a company called Tread Labs, and I reached out to them, I guess it was about a year ago, and just kind of got on their website and saw some stuff about them. The founder of Tread Labs is the guy who founded Chacos. A lot of people don't know that. So
Chaco sandals.
Chaco sandals.
A lot of people use those as camp shoes
and hiking sandals. Some people hike in them. So
yeah.
a lot of people hike in them. But Tread Labs was founded by the guy who created Chacos, and they're just really good insoles. And they were coming out with this new set of insoles for people that do hiking and adventuring and that kind of stuff. And so I contacted them and asked about them, and then I was in Avant Link, which is where we do a lot of our affiliate marketing and stuff like that for YouTubers and things like that, and noticed that they had an affiliate program. Got on the affiliate program. They sent me some insoles to try. So I tried them for a couple months and really liked them and asked if it'd be okay if I did a giveaway.
Yeah.
So I did a giveaway on my channel, and I've given away probably at this point, I'll bet I've given away like 6 pairs of those things.
Yeah.
And for Christmas this year, they just, not Christmas, I guess it was as it started to get cold. They sent me just a random pair of free insoles that were like, kind of like the insides of house shoes. That really soft, almost like wool type material on the insole. And they're really nice. But they sent me those for free. I'm always kept in contact with them just because they're a lot like Zolio for me. They're a company I believe in. Like, I actually like the product a lot. And so they've helped me with my knees, my back, my ankles, my feet, obviously. And definitely been a good company. So, I mean, you can check them out. They're pretty good.
Let's talk about insoles for just a second, because I have a gripe with insoles.
Okay, real quick before we do that, there was one other comment, and I wanted to make sure I got it in here because I thought it was pretty ingenious.
Okay.
Idea. Make your own. This is, we're talking about trekking poles at the time.
Yeah, what's up, Mark?
From an old pair of broken golf club shafts. Super light, inexpensive. The only cons is fixed length and non-collapsing.
Yeah.
That would be lightweight. I don't know if you golf. I used to.
No, I've never been golfing.
I used to. And then I didn't have enough money to keep doing it.
It's an expensive hobby.
Oh, it's an expensive hobby. But golf club shafts are light. My dad used to make golf clubs.
Yeah.
And man, those carbon shafts are light, man. You could probably make trekking poles those, and they'd weigh like 4 or 5 ounces.
Yeah, if you don't golf, you can also cut a stick.
There is that.
Yeah.
It's not as light as the carbon golf shaft.
Some people don't like that because it's not leave no trace. In the woods I grew up in, though, you're like,
Well, you're leaving no trace of that stick if you take it home.
Yeah. That's true. So
pretend I never said that.
The insoles, the inserts, right? You take out the factory little floppy foam, whatever that they stick in there.
Yeah.
They all seem to do it. It offers no support, which that could be good for some people if they have like really flat feet and it hurts them to have an arch support.
Yeah.
But the other day I went in our closet at the house, and Bridget's like, "Are you gonna ever get rid of these old inserts?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I looked in the top of the closet. I had like 6 pairs of inserts from the last 2 years stuck up there.
Really?
I go through them, bro. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll throw them away." And as I threw them in the trash, I was like, "There goes $200." Like, inserts are expensive.
Yeah, they
now,
are.
I deal with a lot of plantar fasciitis. Being a teacher, I'm always walking around the classroom, and those floors are concrete.
Right.
And
we were talking about that today earlier.
Yeah. I have a fatigue mat up front, just like you'd have like in a factory or something that's going to, or at a cash
like
register.
A rubber mat that gives you some soft stuff to walk on.
But the inserts cost so much. Whenever I was on the long trail, I needed a new pair of inserts because a weekend, mine was just falling apart and I was duct taping them together. But mine are by Pinnacle. They're called Pinnacle Power Steps. They're falling apart because I don't think they're really made to go through mud and stay wet. They're just not made for that. And I was pushing them. So I was like, I really need to get some new ones. So I was looking at Super Feet, and it was really hard to find them on the trail because I needed 15s, and you kind of got to order that.
Yeah, you have small feet.
Tiny feet. So a lot of them had 14s, but I needed 15s.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, these Super Feet are just a piece of plastic, and this cost me, what, $40, $50 for these. I couldn't pull the trigger. I hiked the whole thing with duct taped together inserts.
Oh
And I
man.
threw them away once I got done.
Yeah.
Didn't even take it. They smelled. It was the worst smelling
Oh.
foot odor. Threw them away. Didn't fly home with them.
Oh yeah. I don't blame you.
No, but my gripe with inserts is they're very expensive. I looked at getting some with my insurance, and it was still $300 to get them like molded
Wow.
for your foot.
That's expensive.
I went and I went for the appointment and everything, and they're like, it's gonna cost $300. Your insurance will pay this much. It's gonna cost $300 to get custom molded ones. I was like, how long do they last? And they're like, about 4 months. And I was like, I can't afford. I could buy a new pair of shoes
3 times a year. That's like $900.
I was like, I could buy a new pair of shoes every month this year and not spend what I'm going to spend on inserts this year if I'm going to pay $300 every few months. I can't afford it, man.
No. Dude, check this out. Glenn Ops Outside said Tread Labs are like walking on clouds. I like them better than any super feet I've tried. Thanks for the tip, JK.
Now, Superfeet has like a bunch of different ones.
So does Tread Labs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they both do.
I saw like most of them were blue whenever I was looking on the long trail.
Yeah.
But I think the different colors are color coded for different either arch heights or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too, with super feet, they've been around so much longer.
Yeah.
So everybody knows who they are.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like certain industries are just hard to get into.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Ultra has done what it's done.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I'm not an Ultra person,
Mm-hmm.
but I fully respect the company and what they've been able to accomplish in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
They have become the go-to for backpackers, it seems like.
Yeah, they've done a really good job marketing the zero drop stuff.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
But
with
zero
it.
drop's not new. Like women's flats are zero drop.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Hunter, of course, your feet don't stink with sandals, but after 12 pairs of Injinji socks destroyed, it might have a cut even point.
Yeah, Hunter's toe in the Smokies. His
Yeah.
toe was sticking out. He's like, man, this is the 6th sock I've had to change out. I'm like, are you just mismatching them at this point? Like,
Yeah.
in this pair of the left, this pair of the left, this pair of the right.
Oh,
You know,
So-
toes sticking out.
so funny thing. When I was getting ready to leave for the trip the other day,
Uh,
I had packed my bags, packed my backpack, everything was ready to go. Then I go to put on my socks and realize I had 2 left feet. I put both the
Oh.
right feet in the backpack, and I put my clothes down towards the bottom because I don't carry much. Like all I had in my backpack for clothes was a down beanie, an extra pair of socks, and a pair of tights just in case I might get a little chilly.
yeah.
That was it. That's all I carried extra. And so it doesn't weigh like half a pound. And so I just threw it down on the bottom of my backpack. So I had to dig through my entire backpack, go down there, get that out, get the matching sock, throw my other sock in there, and then put it back in. That's the only thing about toe socks. That is the one negative about toe socks.
That's true. You can
You
mess
got to
it
have
up.
a right and you got to have a left.
I was playing basketball the other day, and one of the guys showed up. And whenever you play basketball, if you like play all the time, you normally buy shoes for it.
Right.
And you only wear them on the hardwood, nowhere else, and they last a long time.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you play. He showed up, took his shoes out, put one shoe on, and then the other one was also the left foot. 2 left feet.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Had to play in crappy shoes, man.
That's awful,
No
man.
traction.
That's awful. So just had a really interesting question. UGQ Bandit or Enlightened Equipment Enigma, which one and why? I don't know about the Enigma. I have a Revelation quilt. I have a 20-degree Revelation
By EE.
by Enlightened Equipment. Yeah. I've got a UGQ Bandit, a 0-degree Bandit, and I love it. And honestly, I like the Enlightened Equipment one too, but it's an older Enlightened Equipment, so it doesn't have the baffles like the new ones, and it doesn't have the over stuff like the new ones do. Honestly, I think I was talking to, I think we were talking about it. Yeah, no, I was talking with Brian yesterday, Brian Carpenter, who's going to be on an episode coming up
Or
about this.
if people are listening, they might have already heard that.
They might have already heard that episode if you're
Yeah.
listening right now. That's true. But I think that you can't go wrong with either, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to preference. For me, I like UGQ for multiple reasons. One, I just think they make a high quality product. Every stitch is perfect. They do 130% over stuff. So, or I should say 30% over stuff.
Yeah.
And so the comfort rating is the comfort rating. It's
Mhm.
not a survival rating. It's actual comfort rating. So I really like that. and they have that tensioning system on the sides of the top quilts, which for me is awesome, because when you pull that up, it just cinches the quilt right around your body.
Yeah.
And so it gets rid of any drafts or anything. And I think for tent campers especially, that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Hammock campers, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, you already have the underquilt around you.
Yeah, I don't need, like, I've slept in 21 degrees and used that top quilt and did not have to use the tensioning on it, because the underquilt comes around you anyways. And so you're pretty much in a cocoon. But I think in a tent, having that tensioning system is pretty sweet. But again, I think whether it's Enlightened Equipment, Cedar Ridge Outdoors, or Loco Libre, or whatever other company, they all make great stuff right now. It's really hard to look at any of them and think they're bad, because they're not.
My vote, I've only laid with an Enlightened Equipment once, and it was actually paired with another underquilt. So I'm not informed enough on their stuff. Yeah. But UGQ, I mean, I'm friends with the owners, so I'm biased, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have 2 of their underquilts, a top quilt. Should be getting another top quilt soon. And I really liked on their top quilt, they had the button on the bottom, so like you can cinch it up.
Covers up that hole.
Mm-hmm,
yeah. Unless you get it sewn. Like some people get them sewn. You don't need it. But for me, I kind of like to be able to open up and use it as a big blanket.
Mm-hmm. So I like that snap on the bottom.
Yeah.
Now the top quilt that we got for my house, we didn't get the tension system. We actually, my wife wanted one, and I was like, okay, well, let's buy one from UGQ. And she wanted a sleeping bag. So you can actually put on the custom notes. If you want a zipper on there, they can add material and put a zipper, and you can make it however much you want. So you can do sewn in foot box or zip at the foot box, you can undo it, or you can do full zip, whatever you want to do. My vote goes for UGQ, but I haven't tried their Bandit. Like I said, Bridget has one of their quilts, and I have 2 of their underquilts, but
yeah. No, I think the Bandit's a great quilt. I really like mine a lot. I think it's great. I also like my Revelation quilt. I've been using that for a long time. It's a 20 degree, and it did the whole Sheltoe trace, from beginning to end every single day in a tent.
Yeah.
In as low as like 35 degrees and as high as 85 degrees, I use that thing. So it's a pretty
that's a wide range.
Yeah, the 20 degree quilt's great because of the ability to use it in warmer and colder weather. Because if you don't have the foot box sewn, like the Enigmas, I believe, are all sewn. So I'm kind of not feeling like it depends on the temperature rating, but if it's a warmer temperature quilt, I definitely don't want that foot box sewn.
Yeah.
Because if it gets really hot, I want to be able to open it up and kick it off and be pretty easy. I don't really want my feet all toasty hot when it's hot outside.
You know what Jason does is he takes like one of the least warm Costco quilts, and he throws that over his sleeping bag or quilt, and that takes care of the condensation that settles.
Yeah, he does it when he tarp camps.
Yeah. So there's a little hack. Let's get a couple more. Let's wrap this thing up.
Here we go. Sock liners, yes or no? Currently using Inginji liners with darn tough cushioned socks. It's funny. It's funny. We just recorded a podcast where we talked about this a little bit. So if you're online and listening right now, you may have already heard us talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm an Inginji person. Like, darn tough socks have always caused blisters for me. And so for me, I'm just a I'm an Inginji person, period. Because we talked about this in the earlier podcast. I have mutant feet, and I've got little pinky toes that literally set underneath my ring toes, and so I will get blisters if I don't have some kind of a sock that separates those from each other. But what about you? What do you do?
Well, for some people, liners cause blisters.
Yeah, that's true.
So it depends on you. For me, I don't need a sock liner. I've never had blisters, and I've used cotton socks. I've used Darn Tough. I've used Smart Wool and some off-brand stuff, and I've used Inginji. I used Inginji on our last trip and Darn Tough. So I go no sock liners, but I have done sock liners, especially the Inginji ones, whenever it's really cold.
Yeah.
Or like around camp. If I take those like wool fleece-lined socks, I like a sock liner in there because even at home, if I'm wearing a house shoe, my foot like sweats real bad in it. So I want a real thin sock to put on. So if I'm going to be chilling around camp and change into my camp clothes and it's well before bed and I'm just hanging out, I wear a sock liner then.
Yeah, that makes
Not
sense.
for hiking though, for me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did sock liners for a while, but it didn't seem to really help a whole lot.
It's extra gear. I
Yeah.
stopped using gaiters too.
Yeah, I quit
Like
using gaiters.
the
a while
foot
back.
gaiters.
Unless I know that where I'm going super dusty,
Right.
then I'll definitely be wearing them. But if it's not like gonna be really dusty and it's just a normal hike, I'm kind of not wearing them. Just to be honest.
But there's all kinds of terrain too. So like maybe if I was in the desert and I know I'm going to be walking
Oh.
through sand, that could be a lifesaver.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And you might be using a different kind of gaiter than just those little light, dirty girl gaiter type things. Those are great. But if you're in like serious sand
or snow, you can wear snow gaiters.
Yeah.
And that will keep you warm.
Well, and those are the same gaiters you'd use. Like, we were talking about Kilimanjaro earlier. When we came down on our descent, we went through an area that was full of scree, which is just like little pebbles, but they're the size almost of grains of sand.
Yeah.
And if you don't have those on, your shoes have been filled with them, just completely filled with them.
You're going to shred your feet probably.
Oh, it'd been miserable. Yeah, there'd been so much rubbing and everything. It would just been a mess.
Yeah.
So we'll see. One more thing here. It doesn't look like we have any questions left, but Glenn Ops Outside says, Costco quilts are amazing. My dog uses when we go camping or backpacking. Packs down to nothing.
Yeah, Jason Wish, he brought 2 Costco quilts.
And genuinely regretted it.
Yep, he was like, that wasn't warm enough.
Yeah.
It was 35 degrees.
Well, he was using it as an underquilt for 35 degrees, and you just can't cinch up the ends unless you mod it out completely, and he didn't have it set up for that.
No draft collars.
Oh, man, that's cold, dude.
Yeah.
That's cold. So, well, man, there's a pop-up live stream for you.
How about that, man?
Just out of nowhere, we just decided last second, let's just do this. It'll be fun. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys listening and watching. And if you're online right now, we have some amazing guests coming up. And I think we announced it on our last podcast, so we'll go ahead and announce it here too, that our very first guest for 2021 on our live streams is going to be January 25th.
January 25th.
And that is going to be Syntax 77.
Yes.
So we are super excited about having Syntax on the show. Super nice guy, great guy. And so I'm excited to get him on here and talk a little bit about cheeseburgers, GPX files, and whatever else this man does when he goes out.
He loves cheeseburgers.
He's done it all, man.
Yeah.
He's done it all. So y'all have a great one. It was good talking with you, Jeremiah, as always.
Yeah.
Great time, man.
Yeah, I've had a lot of
time.
fun, man.
Yeah, dude. Well, let's pack this stuff up so you can take it home with you.
Let's do it.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Adios, folks.